Good morning, Northwest, and welcome to February's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Henry Burvey.
And I'm Caitlin Sample.
After 3 years of service from Andrew Addington, Northwest is now searching for an administrator to take his place.
Aaron explains how the administration is dealing with his resignation at the end of the first semester.
At the end of first semester, Assistant Principal Andrew Addington left Northwest to pursue other interests after being in the building for 3 years.
The timing of me leaving Northwest is kind of interesting. It's unfortunate that the corporate world, kind of the private sector, doesn't operate on a calendar similar to ours. The thing I'll miss the most about Northwest is the people. I developed relationships with, especially those that I work up here in the office with most frequently. So the little bits of time in between all our collaboration, in between our work, are some of my happiest moments here. And really that's the hardest part, is leaving the people here at the high school.
Northwest has received 2 new interim administrators. They will help bridge the transition to next year and will assist with a variety of tasks until a permanent administrator is hired for the coming school year.
Mr. Riley and Ms. Jennings are new administrators I have known for quite some time. Ms. Jennings was the principal at the academy for a long time, and so that's how I got to know her. My connection with Mr. Riley goes back quite some time because he was a part of the team that hired me for my first teaching job at Mill Valley High School. When Mr. Addington left, we had to have some conversations about what our team was going to look like. And so when Mr. Riley and Ms. Jennings came in, we gave them some of our responsibilities, and then Dr. Presley and I split up Mr. Addington's responsibilities.
Well, I have over 40 years, probably about 45 years of experience in professional education. Most of it in the Kansas City area. I worked on both sides of the state line. Half my career in public education, the Shawnee Mission District, also out in DeSoto, Mill Valley, and some in Blue Valley, and then also in the parochial. I was at Bishop Miege High School and also St. Thomas Aquinas High School. I've also worked at Johnson County Community College and also at Rockhurst College. So you say, wow, can I keep a job? No. All those times I was coaching. So in my case, I try to be as visible as possible in the halls, the restrooms, the locker rooms, even outside, to make sure that students have as safe of an environment as possible.
My biggest goal here is to support the administration team and to help in any way I can support kids, because for me, that's my love. The responsibilities of my role this semester are working with kids who need some extra supports, and kids and staff who provide IEP services.
Having 2 additional administrators has been phenomenal, not only because we have 2 extra bodies, but because we have 2 people who are very experienced, very knowledgeable, and are committed to supporting the students in our community.
Mr. Riley and Ms. Jennings will be at Northwest until the end of the semester. A new permanent replacement will be chosen over the summer. This is Aaron Tribby for Husky Headlines.
Hey Henry, name 5 members of the office who aren't a part of the administration team.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that, but Hannah tells us more about the people behind the scenes at Blue Valley Northwest.
When you walk into the main office or student services, do you notice the calm or the chaos that the staff members are dealing with? For most, the answer is no. Husky Headlines thought we would introduce you to the people who make the building tick.
I have always thought that our office staff truly are the ones that make sure our building is running. Ms. Fromm does so much. She is on the front line of all of the action, so she interacts with students a lot and helps me schedule appointments with them, and she assists me especially with organization. Mrs. Maloney is Mr. Hilton's assistant, so her responsibilities include organizing everything that goes into sports. She goes through all the physicals that come in 3 times a year. She assigns all the transportation. Miss Reynolds oversees the counseling side of things.
She does so much. It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe, because it was the beginning of the semester, and so there were kids just flooding in. She fields student questions about counseling, and any counseling help, she's happy to help.
The face of Northwest greets each person who enters the main office, and she's the first voice you hear if you call. Let's meet our receptionist, Miss Cheryl Laughlin.
Most of the time, the students will come here with just information questions. They just don't know where to go. So I end up fielding a lot of those questions and trying to tell people where they need to go. Otherwise, it's a lot of pickup and delivery kind of things. One of the busiest people in the office is Miss Hess, who is attendance.
Around the corner from Carol Hess, we find Administrative Assistant Diane Waldo, who is Dr. Presley's right-hand woman. In addition to scheduling things for Presley, one of Waldo's primary jobs is taking care of arranging the coverage for teachers who are out of the building. She also does many other things that most people never see. Teachers say the building cannot run without her.
A couple of really important office staff members are Miss Boyda and Miss Berry. Miss Boyda is our school bookkeeper. She's in charge of all of the finances and the money that goes in and out of this school. And then Miss Berry is our school registrar, so she has to make sure that the records are accurate. Transcript requests from students all go through her. There are a lot of really important roles that our office staff fulfill, and we definitely couldn't run this building without them.
It's really been interesting because coming just from a parent side to actually working here, like people have no idea everything that goes on, and it's like a small city back here.
So the next time you pop in the office to ask a question, be patient. The person you're talking to is probably doing 3 other things that you can't see at that same moment. This is Hannah Johnson for Husky Headlines.
Hey, have you noticed that cool mural at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, it's really cool all the work the students put into it. I explain more about the purpose of the wall.
At the top of the main staircase, you may have noticed an array of colors and a new mural that has been created over the last month by many Northwest activity groups who have been participating in the painting.
The Unity Wall was kind of an idea that actually my mom came up with, and then I presented it to my student government team. The whole idea is to bring unity to Northwest by having every club, sport, and organization have an equal portion of the wall, and they can kind of paint or decorate what represents their club and the people that make it up. So the whole idea is to kind of just show unity within Northwest by all the different organizations that make up our school. Over the summer when I got elected student body president, I was kind of looking up ideas to bring to the school, and there's a bunch of pages out there, and I saw that another school did this. It was a little bit different, and then I talked to Ms. Dirks and Mrs. Hyman, and we started kind of brainstorming some ideas for what we could do specifically in the Northwest. We saw this wall, and it was a bunch of white space up here. Thought we could bring some color to it, some creativity, and then create some change in a positive way. As students in 3, 4, 5 years come by and see it, I think it will be a cool message as they see the clubs as they've maintained their status within the school, or new clubs come and we eventually expand onto the other walls. It's just a cool sign that how many different aspects, how many different clubs and different things our school has to offer. So no matter what you're interested in, there's a club here for you, and everyone can be involved in something.
Being involved at Northwest doesn't have to mean sports or a well-known group like student government.
Then we did decide we wanted to make it open to whatever student groups that wanted to be a part of it. So not just necessarily sports or like classes, but any clubs, activities, anything that wanted to be a part of it could be a part of it. So we first sent out, Ms. Dirk sent out an email. Once we had a rough number of who wanted to be a part of it, we outlined how big the squares were going to be and how much space we needed. We're just hoping that it brings the school together and that people just realize, okay, even if I don't do basketball, I'm still welcome there. I'm still supported if I were to attend games or something like that, or just being a part of a supportive community at Northwest.
While the wall is kind of like a billboard for clubs and activities, Stugo hopes it serves as a way of bringing the Northwest community together.
I think the wall will create more unity throughout our school. I'm also in student government, so I know that the reason for the wall, it is a unity wall, so it's trying to create more unity throughout our school and bring our school together. And I think it will accomplish that so that people can see when they're walking up the stairs what clubs are at our school and who's a part of different organizations at our school. I think it can help students know that there is a place for them within whichever club they want to be a part of, and you can see that there are different options for whatever you want to do, and you don't have to be only in honor societies or whatever. You can be in whatever you want to.
Stugo hopes the addition of the Unity Wall will help students find a place they can call their own while bringing back that family feel many believe has been missing since the pandemic. This is Caitlin Sample for Husky Headlines.
And now to Aaron for Top 10.
Good morning, Northwest. I'm Aaron Chibby, and here's this month's edition of Top 10 Plays. At number 10, we have junior Thomas Pearson getting 6th place in the 106-pound weight class at the Husky Invitational on January 22nd. At number 9, we have senior Haley Numrick swishing a corner 3 versus Blue Valley West. She would end the game with 8 points, and the Huskies would win the game 47-29. At number 8, we have sophomore Logan Whitrock getting a steal and finishing the fast break with a layup versus Blue Valley Southwest on January 4th. The Huskies would win this one 46-32. At number 7, we have the boys swim team finishing second with a score of 98 in the swim relay event on January 8th at Blue Valley Northwest. At number 6, we have the boys and girls bowling team both getting first at their meet on January 11th at Olathe Lanes East. At number 5, we have senior Avnar Blar hitting 6 3-pointers and scoring 27 points versus Blue Valley Southwest on January 4th. At number 4, we have senior Mikey Pauly getting the game-sealing block versus Blue Valley Southwest to give the Huskies a 77-72 win. At number 3, we have the boys basketball team beating undefeated Blue Valley West by a score of 64-60. At number 2, we have the boys basketball team beating Owasso 67-45 to win the Bill Hansen Memorial Tournament on January 22nd. And finally, at number 1, we have the girls basketball team beating Blue Valley North for the first time since 2015. The Huskies would top the Mustangs 46-38 on December 17th. This is Aaron Chivy with the help of Max Smith bringing you this month's edition of Top 10 Plays.
The boys basketball team has been doing really well this season.
Doesn't sound like anything new coming from a Northwest team. Matt gives us the latest on BV&W's new boys basketball coach.
After former Blue Valley Northwest head basketball coach Ed Fritz retired from Blue Valley at the end of the last season, the Huskies looked for and found their man in their new head coach, Aaron Ime, who spent 6 seasons as Raytown South's head coach, where he won 1 state title.
We hired Coach Imes to be our new head boys basketball coach at Blue Valley Northwest because as we went through, we had a really deep applicant pool. What impressed us most about Coach Ime was his character, his family, and what he was going to bring to us as a community, not just from basketball. Obviously, his pedigree and his resume was extremely impressive from a basketball standpoint, but what really set him apart was what a good person he was, what a great family man he was, and the character and integrity that he was going to bring to the job.
I got to be me. There was a famous head coach over at Ray South named Bud Lathrop. He had over 1,000 wins, and I couldn't be him. I needed to be me. Same thing here. We know that Ed Fritz did an amazing job here, left a great legacy. So I just have to be me. I can't try to be those two. From a coaching style, you know, I like to work really hard with our kids, but I like to have fun with them. I like to be multiple. We will push tempo when we need to. We'll slow it down if we need to. We want a lot of people being involved in the offense, touching the ball, and then we want guys to be able to know their roles. And then on defense, all 5 people defend. We get after people, and we try to uplift everyone that's around us.
When I first heard that we weren't going to have the same coaches I've been having in the past, hit me kind of hard, and it wasn't something I expected. But when I first heard that it was Coach Ime, that was going to be our new coach, made me excited, and I knew that he'd push us in the right direction.
My goal is just to help young people, to be honest. My playing days are over. I did my thing in multiple sports, and so with young people, it's kind of like leaving a legacy. You know, there's coaches that have meant a lot to me in my life. I want to kind of do my best to make an impact on young people, all ages, all colors, and hopefully that they're someday, when they're an older man, hopefully they choose to impart some of the lessons that they learned onto other people. It's kind of like paying it forward.
Coach Ime, he's helped me a lot this year by allowing me to go play my game, and he lets me do things that I do best, and he kind of gives me some leeway and freedom to let me play my game.
The boys basketball team is off to a 10-1 start and is 3-0 in the EKL. They also have won the Bill Hansen Memorial Tournament. The team's next game will be versus Blue Valley North tomorrow at 7 at Blue Valley North. This is Max Smith for Husky Headlines.
After all these years of girls bowling at BV&W, I wonder if the boys will ever get a team.
Well, Caitlin, it looks like this year there's a new addition to the BV&W athletic department. I explain more about the new team knocking down pins for the Huskies. While girls bowling has been an aspect of BV&W athletics for over 10 years, boys bowling has made an appearance this year for the winter sports season, an appearance that has gained higher numbers for boys than girls in only its first year of existence.
I saw a poster on the wall saying, "Boys bowling tryouts are this week," and I had found out a couple of my other friends had saw it and decided to try out with them. And I've always enjoyed bowling. I've never done it competitively or anything of that sort, but it was just an opportunity to do a sport before I graduated. It's pretty cool. Everybody's super positive. There's a lot of cool people on the team, and everybody's just super encouraging of each other.
So far it's been pretty good. Practices have been pretty easy, and then meets, we had our first meet, and that went pretty well. I only started a week before winter break. I've really improved since then, from a 100 average to almost a 140, 160 average.
As the bowling team operates athletic duties completely off the Blue Valley Northwest campus, Coach Dirks is now responsible for both boys and girls bowling, as well as the travel that teams take on a regular basis to Belton, Missouri in order to hold practices.
I've actually been coaching bowling for 16 years now. I started in Shawnee Mission when bowling started as a state sport about 16 years ago. Interest across the board has been high. All the boys teams are pretty much full in most of the schools. And here I had upwards of like 15 come to a meeting, but I only had 10 try out. During COVID, one of the bowling alleys, College Lanes, decided that they didn't want to host high school bowling anymore, and we had to find a new home. And in looking around the area, the closest one that was amenable to us bowling there was Belton, even though it's not that close.
While team members have confirmed bowling doesn't draw the same attention as sports such as basketball or football, the Blue Valley Northwest bowling team has its own way of making the most out of their bowling experience.
There were a lot of families there supporting us, and it feels like I actually have support and someone's actually watching me bowl, so it brings importance to what I'm actually doing.
We had them do a reflection, and we had them give shout outs to other players, and over half of them mentioned that our teams were cheering on others and high-fiving, and I noticed as a coach, and you want to see them have good sportsmanship. They don't necessarily have to be friends, but sometimes you're bowling enough with these players that you get to know them.
With the bowling season well underway, Coach Dirks says that she has set her goal on sending several of her bowlers to Wichita to compete in the state tournament. This is Henry Burvey for Husky Headlines. Did you know today is the 63rd anniversary of the day the music died?
No, I don't even know what that is. Raven tells us more about it.
On this day, 63 years ago, American rock and roll musicians Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, otherwise known as the Big Bopper, were killed in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa. After a performance, the artists decided to take a plane to their next show due to the poor conditions of the cold, cramped tour bus. Due to poor weather conditions, the pilot eventually lost control of the aircraft, which resulted in a crash, killing all on board. This day would later come to be known as the Day the Music Died, after singer-songwriter Don McLean referred to it as such in his 1971 song, American Pie. We asked around Northwest to see what students know about this event in music history, and to give some insight as to how truly devastating this event was. What do you know about the Day the Music Died?
That's the song, or the event that American Pie is written about. It was Buddy Holly and a couple other people died in a plane crash.
Oh, you mean like the thing that the song American Pie is about?
I have never ever heard of that.
Nothing. Wasn't that the day that some artist died? Is that what that is?
I know it's an American Pie and that's about it. I think there was a plane crash. I think so.
That's like some 60s stuff, right?
Who is your favorite musical artist at the current moment?
Kanye.
It's either U2 or Taylor Swift.
Probably got to be like a Boogie with the Hoodie.
Probably J. Cole. Probably SZA, but like Barbie Life in the Dream House close second.
I really like the band Camino or like Backseat Lovers.
Kodak Black.
So how would you feel if those artists just stopped making music?
That would be pretty sad.
It would not be good.
I mean, I probably wouldn't talk to anyone for like a couple months. It would affect me like truly hard. He's been really motivational to me.
I mean, I'd probably be sad. I would be really sad, honestly. Music gets me through a lot of things, and so having that is really nice. So I feel for the people at the time when the 3 rock and roll artists died.
Oh, I would full on like become a little like a feral hermit and just resort into the woods. Like, that's the only option I have at this point.
Although not many people of the younger generation know much, if anything, about the day the music died, it will forever remain one of the greatest tragedies in music history and a harrowing reminder of the impermanence of all things, even things that might seem far away from us, like our favorite musicians. This is Raven Lopez for Husky Headlines.
Hey Henry, do you have any idea of what I should get for my Valentine?
Not a clue, Caitlin. I don't have a Valentine. But Amara tells us the top 5 Valentine's Day gifts.
With Valentine's Day coming around the corner on February 14th, here are the top gifts people get their loved ones, according to the National Retail Federation. In at number 5, there is candy. Around $2 billion is spent throughout the world on candy for Valentine's Day. The most popular candy is the heart-shaped chocolate boxes. These were initially introduced in 1861. Today, more than 36 million heart-shaped chocolate boxes sold each year, amounting to 58 million pounds of chocolate. Now at number 4, we have flowers. On average, around $2.1 billion are spent a year on flowers. More than 250 million roses are produced for Valentine's Day, accounting for 69% of flowers bought overall. Greeks and Romans identified the flower with their goddess of love, Aphrodite and Venus, making a bouquet of flowers considered a classic Valentine's Day gift. Now to the top 3. In third is clothing. Around $2.7 billion are spent on clothes a year, including shoes, pajamas, and gift cards to clothing stores. The second gift people give their loved ones is an evening out. People spend more than $2.8 billion on taking them out to dinner. Valentine's Day is the second busiest holiday for restaurants behind Mother's Day, with reservations that spike 764% compared to a normal night. And the top gift people get their loved one is jewelry. According to Balancing Everything, $5.8 billion is spent on jewelry on February 14th. Total sales significantly increase in February, while they drop in January and March. Valentine's Day spending statistics show that most of these new sales are driven by this holiday. Whether you're buying a gift for a loved one, significant other, friend, coworker, or even your pets, have a happy Valentine's Day. This is Amara Qureshi for Husky Headlines.
That's it for the February edition of Husky Headlines.
Have a great day, Northwest.